Raquel, now that you're home, what risks are you willing to take for the sake of Christ?
I want to sacrifice more things and love more and kind of be more for God. I know that sometimes I take my faith for granted, and I think that God will just forgive me for all my sins, but I know that you have to truly be sorry for all of your sins in order to be forgiven. And I know that I'll actually have to give him a chance to hear my prayer so that he can answer it. But I think that that's where the sacrificing part comes in, because I want to give more of my time to Jesus so that I can just focus on him. And then spread the word more, because Jesus wants us to be brave and spread the word loud and clear. And I think that's also where the being more part comes in. While we were down there, we watched a video about how a disciple would follow his rabbi around and try to be more like him. So in my everyday life, I think I should strive to be more like Jesus.
Robbie, can you tell us why you think the gathering chose to return to New Orleans?
Like I was talking about earlier, there was a lot of widespread poverty and injustice and a lot of social and economic need. And I really felt that the ELCA realized that and decided that we could go back and help even more. Each day was divided into the 3 topics, and our Practice Justice Day, which was the day we would actually go out into the community and do a service project, actually got rained out. But we were talking to another group that we had met from Iowa, and they had gone and done their service project, and their project was to paint the inside of a school. And the school needed painting because they had to remove all the lockers in the school because kids were bringing guns on a daily basis and putting them in the lockers in the school. And for me, that was a really big wake-up call. You know, cities have poverty and cities have things that happen like that, and even we do. But knowing that that's right down the street in our little perfect world, you know, that was a real shocker, and I think that we were able to do an impactful difference, you know, with all the projects that we were doing.
Mariah, what does it mean to be a disciple of Jesus and to take the risk of following the one who died on the cross?
To me, being a disciple is following God, but it's not only studying, it's serving and being active in worship. God tells us to spread the word, but spreading the word is not just verbally, it's living, breathing, and doing the word. It's also taking the risk of inviting strangers to meet and love God the way we do. And God just doesn't want us to sit around and watch life go by. He wants us to get up and be the change we want to see in the world, as Gandhi put it.
Ben, there were several kids at the gathering with 1 Timothy 4:12 on the back of their t-shirts. This had some impact on you guys. The verse reads, "Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity." Can you tell us why the 4 of you chose to share this verse with the congregation?
I think we chose this verse to share with the congregation because it says that even though we are young, there's still plenty of things that we can do in the church and in our community. And I think that just because we are young doesn't mean that we can't do those things. And the fact that there were 33,000 youth down in New Orleans doing that shows that we're capable of going out and getting help in the community and getting involved, volunteering, and just doing things to help ourselves and to bring other people to Christ.
As a group, can you share with us how this experience will help you keep your mind on Christ?
This experience, it meant a lot to me, and I think that when I was down there, you know, making new friends and joining with so many other Lutherans, it brought me closer to God. And I finally realized what it means to say one person can change the world, and if one person can do that, then what about 33,000? So if all of the people who were there can come together, which we did, we can end like poverty and sadness and hunger and all the pain in the world. And we can always use more help to help each other.
Like Raquel, this experience has brought me much closer to God, which I think will really help keep my mind on Christ, because we slip away every now and then just thinking about daily life, and we don't really realize we're not always thinking about Christ, but we should. And when you're closer to Him and you understand what else is happening in the world around you and all the injustices, it's easier to understand and think about Christ more often.
What or how will you tell others about your encounter with Jesus this week?
For me, the big part of that question is how. And I think the obvious answer is through our actions and through our deeds. And that's not always easy, and I wouldn't say otherwise. But knowing that there are at least 33,000 other people that are backing me up and going through the same things and feeling the same way, not just the 6 of us and not just all of us in this room, that was really meaningful for me, and I think will help me in the future.
And I think another good part of that question is the what. And what can we go out and do? We can go out and we can volunteer in the community. We can go out, we can get involved, but nothing's really going to matter with the church unless we go out and we actually invite people into Christ. And that's what we need to go do, not just sit here and wait for them to come to us.